So we're looking at the Hillrom P1900 TotalCare Sport 2 bed, and we've got a few different configurations of this bed. The Hillrom P1900 TotalCare Sport 2 was probably one of the best beds for a very long time. That was a pulmonary bed, meaning it had features for percussion vibration for the lungs. It has patient turning, which is called lateral rotation in a hospital setting, and had low air loss. But the thing about this bed also is it sat, as you can see, into a full chair. And so for, transitioning somebody from a wheelchair into the bed, very easy to do. You can see you just basically lift that up. You can slide somebody over, or the caregiver can just stand right in front, pick up, give them their hands, pick them up, and or there's a thing called a sit to stand, which is a feature that basically helps pull them up automatically. And you can see it's really easy to put the rails up. So as a bed that sat fully into a chair, that was pretty impressive. Now, the bed itself was also very easy to use. It's a very easy to use bed. You can see here, you can adjust the surface. But the thing about it that I'm going to go to is going to be therapy. And actually what I'm going to do is raise the bed up so when I'm doing the video, it's a little easier for me. I don't have to bend over. But you can see the features that the bed has as far as rotation. Very clear to see that that's basically going to turn the person. We'll go ahead and click on rotation. And the thing I like about it is that you can determine the degree of turn. So if I wanted to change the degree of turn, I could change it 10, 20, 50, 60, whatever. Very easy to do. I mean, I'll just put it at 30 just for the sake of the video. I'm not going to start the therapy. Probably wouldn't even start actually because it's in a chair. Because you usually need to be somewhat flat to do that. And then I can change how often I want to turn it. Now, we always put it at 5 minutes when it's in here because we run these beds for a day or so before we send them out. So we're just going to move them at 5 minutes, but you could actually turn it up to every 30 minutes if you wanted. And that would go left, right, center. So the person's always going to come back to the middle before they turn again. But this bed has a feature which is basically an amazing feature called percussion vibration. And what that does is that basically thumps the bed and replicates what a respiratory therapist would do in a hospital. So this bed having that feature is really special. It's a pulmonary bed. There's not a lot of pulmonary beds out there. So we're going to actually go into that here in just a second. But before I do that, let me just go into the control panel. If you have neuropathy, your feet get shrunk up, you can shrink the foot of the bed in and out so it can extend. It goes up to 84 inches out. You have elevation of the legs, which is also good if you have swelling of the feet. And you can see that the picture really just shows you what it's doing. It really doesn't require much to figure that out. You've got the head up and down, foot up and down, and then you have the chair position. And the boost feature right here basically will help slide somebody back in the bed. So if they slide down, you can also use this Trendelenburg and reverse Trendelenburg, which basically is there for people with cardiac related issues and what have you. But for me, one of the things I like, I've got it in chair. I need to flatten the bed out. I'm just going to flatten the bed out. In fact, I'll back this up a little bit so everybody can kind of see that. It's just really, really easy to work with. So I'm just going to back this out. We're going to flatten the bed. The other thing you'll notice here is it'll tell you what the degrees are. So 30 degrees is usually an angle, and you can see that one's highlighted, that you want people at in order to help them with cardiac related functions. Normally you want the person 30 degrees above the head and foot. Now, the bed itself is going to start inflating. There are head and foot boards that go on the bed. I'm not going to get into those right this second just because I want to shoot the video. And I believe I've just gone into this, but the Progressive bed is the bed behind us, which is a newer version of the TotalCare Sport. So basically, the TotalCare Sport 2, the Hillrom P1900 TotalCare Sport 2, had a lot of hydraulics. It's got hydraulic parts in it, hydraulic block, a lot of different things that are in this particular bed that you're not going to find in other beds. And I'm going to go ahead and raise this up, and you're going to see this thing. I'm 6 feet tall, but it's going to go well past my hips. Probably, this bed goes really high up, and I'll even back up to show you that. That's plenty. Actually, that's plenty far right there. And you can see in comparison that that bed really does sit up pretty far. Now, the hillrom progressive beds, they basically are the newer version of the TotalCare Sport. So the progressive beds, when they made this bed, and it does everything that this bed does, it actually can go down lower. It'll sit fully in a chair. But the progressive bed is 100% electric. There's no hydraulics. So generally speaking, it's a much more reliable bed. It's not going to have as many service requirements because it's a simplified version of the Sport. So, you know, right now the Sport beds are very well known because they started making the Sport 1 in 2004, 2005. They started making the Sport 2s maybe around 2008, 2009. And these were the best ICU beds money can buy, and they still are really popular beds. But as it gets older, you know, more people now are opting for the progressives, but this is a bed that's going to be used for ALS, MS, quadriplegic, paraplegic, limited mobility. I mean, you can kind of think of anything with pulmonary, lung issues. This is one of the only beds actually made. This one and the Progressa are the only two that really have that percussion feature. So let's go into therapy. We'll go back to that. Now that we have the bed flat, we can run the percussion. You have a low, medium, and high setting. Once again, I can push that down, and we could go into low, medium, and high. I mean, I guess I'll go high just for the sake of it. Did I hit medium? Yeah, I did. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and hit it high now that I got that. And you can see here, it's all touchscreen. It's super easy to use. How you doing? So we just started the percussion therapy, and now we'll go here and see. And you can see that the mattress is basically thumping, and it's basically it's replicating what a respiratory therapist would do in the hospital. So that is basically, you know, one of the features that you're going to get is the pulmonary feature with the TotalCare beds. So this is a bed we don't get a lot. This is a TotalCare with a P500. They ran these for maybe a year or two. That's just a specific type of low air loss. And low air loss, just so people know, because you're going to hear that term, basically there's air bladders that go all the way up and down the bed. And on each side they have little holes that release air. And that air circulates over the surface of the mattress. And the goal of that is to keep the skin dry or dry up skin if there's bed sores. Moisture in the skin is certainly not good. And if there is a bed sore, there's a lot of moisture around it. So if you ever hear the term low air loss, that's basically what it is. It's air being released. In this case, it's under this thing here, but it's circulating still, whisking away moisture and keeping the skin dry. And or bed sore prevention and also bed sore treatment. Now, Hillrom also made a couple other beds. This is another TotalCare, but this one here does not have the P500. It would be more of a standard mattress system. You'll also see on here that it says nano age technology. Basically what that means is that there is silver put into these covers, and silver is antimicrobial, so it basically prevents bacteria and different things from building up. And then anytime you see the blue mattress here, this is basically the extra wide bed. So it's still a TotalCare bed, but it's an 1840 and not a P1900. It still has all the same functionality, but the only difference is that this one here is 40 inches wide. And actually, this one here is also 40 inches wide. It looks like the regular P1900, but I can see that it is actually an 1840. Big giveaway is you're going to have the bariatric rails on there, which the standard one will not have those. So it's kind of nice because there's a lot of different varieties of the P1900 TotalCare Sport, and basically 40 inches wide, 40 inches wide, 36 inches wide. This bed has a 500-pound weight capacity, but the mattress is good for 300. They say 350, but I would say 300. This mattress here is good for 500, and the patient weight capacity is 700 pounds, but it really doesn't matter if it can move 700 pounds because the weight of the mattress is really only good for 500. As long as we're doing the video, this is the other air mattress you'll get from Hillrom, which also is, this is a VersaCare bed, and this also has a P500 surface on it, but That's the only thing this will do is low air loss. It does not have the rotation. It does not have the pulmonary. It does sit into a chair. I've got a lot of videos that we've done with the VersaCare bed, and it's a fantastic bed, but you're just going to have a much more simplistic mattress, right? And you're not going to have all the functionality. And so with the TotalCare Sport, you can see once again that you have a bed that sits fully into a chair. In fact, we'll go back over here. Just go ahead and say stop therapy. It's going to make it a little bit easier to do the video. There we go. And so we just turn that off. So really easy to use. And like I said, if you're looking for a bed that's a newer version, these are the Hillrom Progressive beds, which you can see we have quite a few of those in stock. So if you're looking for a Hillrom TotalCare Sport, if you're looking for a pulmonary bed, this is an overview here of some of the beds that we've got in stock. We're here in Richmond, Virginia, based down in San Diego, California. We ship beds all over the United States. We use private drivers, private delivery systems to deliver those beds. And, you know, these are going to be some of the best beds money can buy for ICU, post-acute care, home care. And like I said, we use a lot of these for people with limited mobility. A lot of these beds go for ALS, MS, quadriplegic, paraplegic, those types of situations. So give us a call. You can go to our website, number one, hospitalbeds.com, also hospitalbedshop.com, and you can also get more information by giving us a call. Richmond, Virginia, 804-495-0770, and then San Diego, California, 858-263-4894. Once again, this is our video on the Hillrom P1900 TotalCare Sport 2 and the 1840. These are the post-acute care pulmonary ICU air mattress beds. Thanks for watching our video. We'll see you on the next one.